Welcome back to the Balancing Wellness channel. Today we are talking about movement. Movement is essential and we have to do it. We have to do it just to go to the bathroom. We have to move. But when we make our movement intentional, things start to change. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we can intentionally create movement in our life today that will give us the most bang for our buck. Before I get started with that though, in the journal, your movement section, we talked about the interconnected nature of all areas of wellness in the last video, your 7 areas of wellness. And so in that episode, I went over all of the benefits that you see, well, not all of them, but just some of the benefits you'll see in different areas of your wellness if you add movement into your life. All right. I'm not going to recover that today. So if you want to know how movement interacts with all areas of your wellness, check out the 7 areas of wellness video or buy a journal. Today, we are going to focus on page 2 of movement. When it comes to adding movement in, we have to honor our starting point. So somebody who has been really active their whole life might look at running a 5K is like an easy thing to do. Somebody who's never been active in their life will look at a 5K and say, are you crazy? That's nuts. Honor where you are in your movement journey today and start there. So anything is always better than nothing. Okay, let's just get that out of the way right off the bat. Page 2 also goes into adult and child recommendations. So for an adult, it is recommended that we are moving 20 to 30 minutes every day. That's pretty doable. If you really think about it, intentionally moving for 20 minutes a day, and that will have an impact on your overall health. Children, on the other hand, they need more activity than that. They need to be getting at least 60 minutes of activity every day. That is going to be really healthy for them. How we make the most out of our time in the gym or outside being active with our kids or going for a walk. Whatever you choose for your movement, if you want to make the most out of it, knowing your target heart rate zone will be a game changer. So today we are going to look at how to find your target heart rate zone. Now that is in the journal. Down here in this section here, I give you an example, which I'll go over with you here in a little bit. And then I give you kind of a fill in the blank space where you can put in your information. But some of the information that this journal asks you for includes your resting heart rate. So if you do not know how to find your resting heart rate, keep watching because I'm going to walk you through it. There's a whole bunch of technology out there that will help you find your heart rate. But personally, I don't think there's a better way to go than to know how to do it yourself on your own body. There are 2 ways that you can find your heart rate without any technology or anything special, just you and your sense of touch. Okay, so we use our index finger and our middle finger. You do not want to use your thumb. Your thumb has a pulse of its own and it can throw you off completely. So your index or pointer finger and your middle finger. Keeping those fingers together, you are going to tune into your body in 2 different locations, either your carotid artery just below your jawbone or in your radial artery on your thumb side. take your two fingers, and underneath your ear and that jaw, you'll feel your jaw come down and arch around. Right underneath that arch, you're going to press against your neck. So you'll feel your esophagus and that jawbone, and where they kind of connect, just settle those fingers in. Now, you can't talk, you gotta stay still, you gotta just breathe and make some slight movements around in that area until you feel that pulse. And once you find it, look at the clock and count how many times you feel your heartbeat in 6 seconds. Now, 6 seconds is important. We're going to talk about that too here at the end. Whatever your number is for 6 seconds, times that by 10, that is your heart rate for a minute. Okay, so that would be your resting heart rate if you took that at a time of rest. So I suggest in the morning when you first wake up, check for that heart rate, count for 6 seconds, times it by 10, and then you'll have that number you need to do your equation in your journal. The second way to find your heart rate manually is to take, again, your index finger and middle finger, put them on the thumb side, right below the thumb, and kind of feel around for that radial artery. You are going to have to stay still, take some nice deep breaths. And once you feel that beat, you go ahead and count that for 6 seconds. All right, let's find a target heart rate zone. So, in order to do this equation, you are going to need your age and your resting heart rate. I have already plugged in all the places your resting heart rate has to be in the equation. But for your age, the only place you need it is right here at the beginning, because you're going to take the number 220 and minus your age. Okay, that gives you answer number 1. Answer number 1 is then going to come down to line 2, and we're going to subtract that by your resting heart rate. From there, we take answer number 2 and we plug it in to both sections of our low and high end of our target heart rate zone. So depending on you and your health and physical fitness level, your doctor might recommend that your percentages for your zone are a little different, but 50 or 0.5 to 85%, 0.85, they are going to be your recommended target heart rate zones for the general population. So that is where we are here. But again, you have to honor your starting point. So if you are new to adding in intentional physical activity into your life, please see a doctor first, get their recommendations, make sure you're cleared to start activity, or find the activity that gives you the supervision of somebody that could help you in case something were to go wrong. Always err on the side of safety. And so we're going to look here and take 130 times 0.5, and that is going to give us 65. Now we add in our 65 and we add back in our resting heart rate. So when we add back in our resting heart rate, this gives us 135 beats per minute. Then we come down to the low or to the high end, which is 85% of your max heart rate, and we plug in that same equation. So this gives us the answer of 110.5. And then again, we add back in that resting heart rate. So that leaves us at 180.5. 140.5. Okay, and so now we have our beats per minute for our low end and our high end. If you want to use the technology on a treadmill or an elliptical and look at it, or even your watch, if you have a smartwatch, you can look at it and it will tell you how many beats per minute you're currently at. If you want to use the manual methods of finding your heart rate with your carotid or radial arteries, there's a trick to make this a little easier, and it is that 6-second count. So when we look down here for our bonus 6-second count, we do a little math and we can find our 1 minute heart rate in 6 seconds. So if we're looking at a low end of 135, we're going to round that. And now it is completely up to you if you want to round that up to 140. That's really going to make sure that you're getting into that target heart rate zone. That is my recommendation. But you could always round it down to 130. Okay. Either way, just know that if you round down and you're not seeing the results you want, maybe you got to take it up a little bit. So if we round to 140, we then divide that by 10 because our 6-second count would have to be times by 10. So this leaves us with 14. Okay. 14 will now be the amount of beats you're looking for in 6 seconds. If you are at 14 or above, you know you are at least in your target heart rate zone. Now we want to find out if we're going above our target heart rate zone. So we also round 180.5. That one, easy. Always round down 180, you're going to be good. And so 180 would turn into 18. And now you have your target heart rate zone. You know that if you are out exercising and you're feeling your heart beating and you're sweating and you're like, man, I really wish I knew if I was in my target heart rate zone or not. One, both of those, heart rate and sweating, are good indicators that you're there. But you can find it. You can know for sure, and you can feel it in your own body. You don't have to just believe some technology telling you you are where you are. You can feel it in your own body in real time, all by yourself. Okay? No technology needed. Get comfortable finding that heart rate. Here is the catch. When you are working out in your target heart rate zone, you are looking at an aerobic level of activity. And that means your body is using oxygen while you're working out. And that's one of the reasons why you can maintain that intensity longer and you can really work on that endurance. If you're working out harder and you find that you are above your high end of your target heart rate zone, you are transitioning from an aerobic level of exercise into an anaerobic level of exercise. And at that point, you are working out harder than your body can use oxygen to supply your muscles with what they need. And you're going to start breaking down sugars to do that, which sounds great. Oh man, I'm going to burn all those sugars off. It's going to be great. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You will find potentially, if you are working out in that level of intensity to where you are above your high end of your target heart rate zone, you might be craving sugar when you're done working out because your body just depleted its stores in order for you to maintain that level of intensity. This is where mindfulness comes in. If you are mindful that that is what your body just did, and you know to avoid those sugars and drink more water or give your body the nutrients it needs through other means of nutrition in order to squash that craving or even prepare before you work out at that intensity, by nourishing your body properly, you're going to have different results. So, again, everything is connected. When you start adding movement into your life, your hydration and your nutrition become even more important because they are all connected. So, more on those topics in future videos. But for today, I hope you understand now how you can find your target heart rate zone and know that this journal will help you. And that is what it looks like. We'll walk you through it one step at a time. And when you get to the journal section, it's nothing crazy. It is just this little heart that you write in whatever activity you did that day. Now that you know how to find your target heart rate, it is more important than ever that you really understand what your goal is. If your goal is to burn fat, you want to be in your target heart rate zone. If your goal is to build strength or power or speed, you might find that you are above your target heart rate zone, and that's okay. Those goals call for different actions. So, knowing your target heart rate zone, knowing what you will get out of your workouts when you're in your target heart rate zone, that's powerful. So, I hope this knowledge has empowered you to take your movement to another level and really be mindful of the time you're spending being physically active. I promise you, it does not take as intense of a workout as you may think. And to prove that, I am going to meet my 2025 goal of fitting back into my pre-pregnancy pants. And I'm going to start that journey on January 1st. I am going to show on my Facebook page, Balancing Wellness, the journey. You will see the exercise, you will see the food, you will see the ups and downs I struggle with emotionally and physically along the way. Because I promise you, even though I've been here before and I have done this before, I am still going to hit barriers. I am still going to have days where I just don't want to do it because I'm human and that's natural. But the beauty is in the resilience and the persistence and the consistency. And that I know I have. And that is why I know I will reach this goal. And I want you to see that journey so you know how doable it really is. So I hope you join me on the journey, and I will just continue to get ready for this amazing new chapter. And I hope you join me. So please like, subscribe, hit your notifications, check out the Facebook page. Get yourself familiar there because you're not going to want to miss this journey. It's going to be awesome, and I really hope you're there. All right, y'all, sneak peek into the progress of the wellness studio. We have white walls. We also have our recording space and our exercise space. And so over here will be where we put the spin bike, and that trunk has all my weight room equipment in it. And this is where we're going to work out. So I am so excited to start getting workouts in down here and continuing to use this space to film. Got like all your little junk drawer and then our sweet view, which I am so in love with. Y'all, I just want you to take a second with me and really look like this is what some goals look like completed. Like my goal was to have a functional studio and workout space to really start this journey and be able to share it with you in the start of 2025. And here we are. It is not crazy beautiful yet. It is, I mean, I don't even have floors in. That's where I spilled a whole bunch of paint. The ceilings still need painting, but I got a plan for that and it's going to be fun. But this is, for me, I am feeling accomplished. I am feeling like I set myself to have a goal and that goal is here and it's complete and now it's just a matter of polishing and that takes time. So when you set goals, be really realistic about what you're looking to achieve and recognize and celebrate all of the small wins along the way. This is a win. This is a starting point and we all start somewhere. So start your goal. Jump on that bandwagon and go for it. You can do anything you really put your mind to. You just have to plan, prepare, and execute. So exciting. See you guys soon.